Hello, good afternoon, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lucy Davis, and today I hope you are ready for what we are about to discuss, my friends. As you're jumping on, please do let me know where around the world you are, what the weather has been doing where you are. It has been wild out there, right? Absolutely wild. We've had so many earthquakes going off, and I'm really excited. I'm going to talk a little bit about my perspective as to why those things are happening shortly. But before that, I just really wanted to apologise for not being live with you last week. The reason was I was at a wedding, having some beautiful connection time and, just taking a moment to just embrace the miracle that I shared at Soul School on the Saturday. So, I ended up putting a video out a little bit later, the December energy. I think it went out about 7 o'clock in the end or something like that. But I just needed a little bit of time. Oh, Deb, I'm going to be talking about Oregon today. Oh, that's really interesting in Conscious Conversations. So look forward to seeing you there, my sweetheart. So basically last week I just took some time. It was absolutely amazing to be at a wedding, having just a night away and just basically being really connected. Something that I don't actually get an opportunity to do on a Monday night normally. So, and a Monday during the day. Normally Mondays are very busy, but I'd taken the day off to go to the wedding. So, today I'm going to share a little bit about what has been going on, because when I popped the video out last week with the December energy, I did not share the miraculous, behavior that's been taking place over the last however many months, and the miracle that I shared with the people at Soul School last Saturday. First and foremost, I literally cannot believe it's been a week since Soul School. It feels like it was yesterday, but it also feels like it was about a year ago. How are you guys feeling about it? Are you guys missing it? I'm missing it massively. And I would love, if you were in the room at Soul School, I would absolutely love for you to share on here what your favorite bit was. I have witnessed some absolute miracles. Honestly, I literally cannot say to you, the messages that have come into my inbox about what has been unfolding since last week has been unbelievable. Like, I shared on my social media that a beautiful young girl who came along, she has, she's so passionate about dance, but she had a really nasty accident, and unfortunately that's limited her to be able to dance since then, like 4 or 5 years I think it is. And literally off the back of Soul School, she got the call to say, your appointment is going to be in March. We're going to be taking you in. We're going to be removing the metalwork. We're going to be doing the thing for you in March, which was just ironic, bearing in mind the news that I shared that was coming in March. My best friend has just said the shifts have been huge for me. Thank you, darling. It's just unbelievable what takes place at these events. And there is so many people out there that just block themselves from experiencing the miracles. And that, my friends, is kind of what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. I'm going to be giving you much more information than I gave you last Saturday. So if you have people that were there last Saturday, please share this video with them. Please tag them in this so that they can actually watch and maybe connect a few of the dots that obviously I didn't have time to share last week. But before we do that, I want to talk about something that we actually started last week at Soul School, because this is extremely powerful. And it's basically a channeling that I've been doing over the last 3 or so years, whereby I was connected and I was told very, very clearly that the way that we're going to change the world is going to be changing the frequency. Now, I've channeled that in between February and April 2026, there's going to be this new frequency birthed on the planet. But what we decided to do is, Kevin, as you guys know, if you come to Conscious Conversations, he and I sat down to understand the channeling that I had been doing. And basically what we did from there was basically step into the energy of, right, how can we achieve this? Let's not hope that there's going to be a new energy that gets born between February and April. Let's like literally create it for ourselves. So what we did on Saturday was we started a meditation process that we truly believe is going to change the world. We truly believe that it is going to be the thing that catapults the old earth, which is currently what we're living in right now, into the new earth, into the new frequency, into the love, the peace, the harmony, the divine connections, and everything else that we are all looking for and we're all chasing. So on Saturday, we did this beautiful, powerful meditation. And, you know, it was part of another process that I was doing on Saturday. Then we repeated it on Sunday. Very powerful. Then we repeated it on full moon, which is the 4th of December. And then, so we're repeating it again soon. But basically this process, we have to do 3 times a month for the course of the next 13 cycles. Okay, I'm using that word because it's not literal months. It's going to be the cycles of the moon. Okay, so we started this process on Saturday. We repeated it on Sunday. We repeated it on the 4th, whatever day that was last week, maybe Thursday last week. Now, Thursday last week was wild for me because I actually got involved in it. Saturday and Sunday, I was obviously guiding the meditation, but on the Thursday, I actually got involved with it as well. And oh my goodness gracious me, did things change in my world, in the world from there. Now, we have seen some mad activity off the back of us doing these meditations. And ladies and gents, we've only done cycle number 1. So I would like you to stay linked into my social media, continue to watch. If you're on my mailing list, like if you're not in my mailing list, this is the perfect time to get on the mailing list. I will be sharing the next dates for the meditation in every time I send out the newsletter. So you guys know how it's going to work, what we're going to be doing, and the way that we're going to achieve this. At the moment, as it stands, Kevin and I did speak about us doing one on the 11th of December, which is just in a few days' time. But I'm actually going to chat to him on Conscious Conversations tonight, and then I'll communicate it with you in the Weekly Woo tomorrow, if we are actually going to go ahead with the 11th, or if we're going to be doing this on the 21st, which is obviously solstice. Okay, so this process is going to change the world. We have evidence that it has already changed the world previously. And what we've basically been doing is we've been having over 100 people every single time coming together to focus on this stuff. On Sunday, there was a lot more than 100 people. On Thursday, there was a lot more than 100 people. You know, I think we had 140 people, something like that, in the room at Soul School doing this. So that's the kind of numbers that we've been doing. Obviously, if we have 500 people, that's even better. If we have 100 people, that's absolutely fine. So our mission is to shift the frequency of the world. That's what we're doing here. And the whole purpose of this is it was literally handed to me by Source as a mission to be able to create the frequency that we have all been looking for. This is a divinely guided mission from God, from Source, from whatever it is that you believe in. It's very simple what we are doing. It does not take a rocket scientist to do it. It just takes somebody to lead it, somebody to coordinate it, somebody to hold people accountable for showing up and doing it. And that's what we're doing. I'm not sharing this publicly for anything other than if you guys want to be involved, we'd really appreciate it. We're going to do it anyway. You know, my team and I, the beautiful, powerful team that I've got, you know, we're doing it anyway. And we actually worked out that we only needed that number of people to be able to do this process on our own. So the only reason I am here sharing this, I don't need any kudos. I don't need anything at all from it other than if you would love to join us, if you are ready, if you're tired of the shit, you know, if you're ready to really, really embrace a new vibration that doesn't have all that nasty nonsense rubbish, then please do join us. And like I say, the best way to do that is either in one of my most amazing groups, Self-Love Club on Facebook, Soul School on Facebook, or on my mailing list, the Weekly Woo. Now, Veronica has just very, very, very sweetly said that I am doing a healing hang on Wednesday of this week, which is the truth. Truth bomb right there. I am going to be focusing on procrastination at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, the 10th of December. If you are somebody who procrastinates, if you are somebody who puts stuff off until tomorrow, and I think if my best friend is still on here, she will tell you straight, I am the best accountability buddy in the world, and I will help you get shit done. You know, I'm not somebody who procrastinates. I'm somebody who literally just, I'm like, right, okay, this needs to get it done. So this is a very, very important one. And I never realized what a pandemic we have got in the area of procrastination. So my friends, if you would like to join us, please, please, please do go to the link and click on it in the description field of this video, and let's get this show on the road. Let's get procrastination popped off in readiness for the most powerful year that we have ever had in our life, which is going to be the year of 2026, my friends. I made a little prediction on Self-Love Club last night about 2026. So maybe I will share that at some point over the next couple of weeks on a separate video. Ladies and gents, let's start again. Today feels extremely different. There is a softness in my heart. There is a glow in my body. And there is a sense of magic that I have been waiting a very, very long time to share with you. I am the happiest I have ever been in my life. And I'm proud to sit here and say that to you. Today, I'm going to share some of what has brought me to the point of true surrender and happiness. Can I get a heck yes? How many of you want to be truly happy and truly aligned and just like, oh my God, what have I been doing? For those of you at Soul School last weekend, you have already witnessed the moment that changed everything for me. It was the moment for the first time I let this truth be seen publicly. And today I'm ready to share it with the world. Please do not be surprised if I end up crying or if I end up as a hot mess. Please don't be surprised if it's all of the above. It's fair to say that my prediction of the last 15 years, despite 24 years of heartache, 6 miscarriages, endless amounts of heartbreak and heartache and misunderstanding, all of that has come to an end. And today I'm going to share with you that miracles are absolutely possible and are there for you. Ladies and gents, I'm very excited to say that I am just over 25 weeks pregnant. And we are expecting our miracle rainbow baby on the 22nd of March 2026. When I used to talk about this energy that's going to be birthed between February and April, I never quite realized, comprehended, or believed that it would be me giving birth to the energy. So I'm a little bit weirded out by all of this. However, I am so in love with the baby. I am so in love with what my body is doing. I am so in love with keeping a secret for 24 weeks, because I actually shared it last Saturday. But tonight, this is not going to be all about the baby. This is going to be about how the miracle took place for the baby to come about. because some huge changes had to happen in my life. I had to be more real with myself than ever. And sometimes I think we sit there with our fingers crossed going, oh, because I've decided, the miracle's going to happen, but it doesn't, and it hurts. Do you want to see my bump? Do you guys want to see my bump? Do you guys want to see my bump? Shall I share my bump with you? What do you think, guys? Should I stand up and share the bump, or shall I keep it a beautiful little secret? Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so what it is fair to say, oh, everybody's like, bump, bump, bump. Okay, cool. I'm going to show you the bump. Hopefully you can see. Ah, it's fair to say bump is cooking nicely. So I'm going to share a few things tonight about how I truly believe that this has come about and what I've had to do. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm super proud of the bump. It is doing amazing. I just actually want to say to you guys that, oh, that's so sweet, Shelley. Thank them all for me, won't you? Thank you. I just actually want to say, guys, that I am keeping the sex of the baby to myself. Obviously, baby daddy knows and my family know, but I'm keeping it to myself because I actually think that there is some things that I just think is better to be kept as a beautiful, beautiful little piece of connection until the baby arrives. So I appreciate you all want to know, and you're probably going to be making bets and, oh my God, is her real prediction or what's going on here? I just want to let you guys know that you will know in March, I promise. But until then, please, whatever your thoughts are, whatever you're thinking, just keep the baby in your head as, healthy. And that's all I can ask for. So, but thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate all of the beautiful comments that you're giving me, guys. So now I need to get back in the moment. Saying this out loud feels so surreal. As you guys know, if you guys have followed me for a while, even if you've only followed me for the last 3 or 4 years, you would have seen me have 2 heartbreaks in that period of time. So to say this feels completely sacred. This is like a chapter, not even a chapter, this is a new book. This is going to be a new book that has been waiting decades to be written. Decades to be read. I promise you're not going to have to wait decades to read this book, guys. I promise. 24 years and 6 losses. If any of you out there resonate with this journey, resonate with this story, please, please, please do keep holding the faith. I know there's so many of you out there. I can see lots of your names popping up now that have been walking this journey with me, shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand, tear to tear. You've seen me go through the healing. You've seen my faith be tested to a level that has, honestly, at times even I thought I had to give up. You've seen my health. Oh, yes. My apologies, guys. Let's just pop the comments on. Lizzie has just very, very aptly said, where the heck are the comments? So let's put it tall. No, let's put it regular and big. So then you can see, or medium maybe. There we go. Hopefully that's okay for you guys. Thank you, Lizzie. I really appreciate that. So like I was saying, you guys have seen my faith be tested to the max. You've seen my health go through a whole challenge, especially if you've been around for the last 12, 13 years. You've literally seen me go from completely hot mess to the healthy person that I am today. You've seen the expansion. You've seen the destruction. You've seen the heartbreak, you've seen the tears, you've seen me having to literally sit and cry and tell you guys things because of certain stuff that was going on behind the scenes that I never wanted to have to speak out publicly on. And you've all witnessed the return to myself. These trophies, the other stuff that's been going on, all of the awards that I've won, that's been the return to self. That's been the validation of you're on purpose, you're on mission. You have been divinely picked by source to do this. There is a part of my story which I'm going to share this evening that I haven't shared publicly before. It's tender, it's personal, and it's shaped me in ways that I am only now beginning to understand. As I say, in the last 24 years, I have experienced 6 pregnancy losses. And to any of you out there watching this who's experienced 1 or 10, I just want to send you my love. If you can see this smoke, it's just essential oils, guys. Okay, I'm not smoking myself out. I'm not being a bad mum already, I promise. 6 times I hoped. 6 times I dreamed. 6 times I grieved quietly whilst carrying on publicly. My heart broke. I became a master of strength, which was never my mission. I never allowed myself to be soft. I just kept on keeping on. I never wanted my story to be defined by loss. And yet these moments shaped my faith, my resilience, my relationships, the relationship with my body, and the most powerful relationship with Source. What's hilarious is I have met people along the way that told me that they loved me, yet they have attempted so deeply to dampen my faith in Source, dampen my faith in my guides, tell me that it wouldn't be happening. If God really loved you, if you were really somebody who was loved by Source, why would they hurt you this much? It's called abuse. Why would you be hurt if you were really doing God's work? The reality is, I had to remember what was required to truly bring in what I deserved. I had to be willing to let go of things, people, places that maybe had got in my head with their words. So what changed this year? What happened this year? Because it's this year. I want to be really clear with you. You guys have been watching me for all of these years. You know, I've had messages from some of my friends that I used to go to school with, like off the back of the pregnancy announcement. And I want to let you guys know that, you know, like they've witnessed this since I was 21, 22 when the first one happened. Okay. So, you know, there are people out there watching right now with you who have seen me go through absolutely every single one. But this year, the year of 2025, the year that I warned you all was going to be hell. The year that I told you we're all going to be slapped really hard with everything. This is the year that something physically shifted for me. Not in the physical at first, but in my soul. It was like a missing piece of the puzzle was revealed. I stopped fighting my body. I stopped battling my brain. I stopped holding myself in survival energy, and I surrendered to faith. I surrendered to living in trust. I healed parts of myself I didn't even realize were holding the door closed. I let love in. I let support in. After a battle, let me tell you straight. I let faith lead. instead of the noise that had been gifted me. And I truly believe that that is what opened the space for this beautiful miracle that I have just been able to show you. I was gifted the most amazing opportunity in January. I was in Dubai. I was speaking over there at a seminar, and I found out that I was pregnant. I called my partner, told him. We were delighted. A few days later, I was gifted the opportunity of an extremely tragic miscarriage. I'm saying I was gifted this as an opportunity because this was my moment to make a decision. This was my moment to decide truly what I was going to go for. I remember being in my hotel room in Dubai and my friend asking me the question as my heart was completely breaking. I was absolutely inconsolable. And she said to me, "Is this truly deeply what you want for your life?" And in that moment, I got it. I had to make a decision in that moment that this was my thing. I had to recognize that I believed it with every cell in my body. I had to believe that it was mine. I had to trust that I deserved it. And it was in that moment that everything else didn't matter. The irony, hey, I've gone and won 8 awards this year. None of it mattered. The only thing that I was focused on this year was about creating this baby. When I got home from Dubai, I went to the doctor in the UK who talked to me about these things called recurring miscarriage tests. Never heard of them, ladies and gents. Until this moment in my life, I had absolutely never heard of them. Didn't even know that they existed. Ironically, the doctor said to me, these tests should have been done after miscarriage number 3. Of course, I stepped into victimhood. What if the miscarriage that I'd had in 2023, which was the one before January, what if it had happened in the UK? Would I have been sent for these tests at that point? Could I possibly have saved myself a couple of years? Like literally, this was what was going on. And I'm sharing this with you guys so you get it. Please do not think that it just works out divinity for me. Never. I get tested as much as you guys get tested. So I just was like, you know what? I'm going to go for these tests and I'm going to see if there is anything that is physically. Now, I'd had tests done before, but not this level of in-depth. This is where the goosies might start, ladies and gents. I'm just giving you a little heads up. So in March, after having to be at the hospital on my birthday, so I'm just moving my mic a bit closer. I just realised my mic's freaking miles away from me. After being in hospital on my birthday, due to the miscarriage, I went for tests in March. The lady that took my blood was called Maya. As soon as I saw her name and I said to her, "Do you say your name like this?" And she said, "Yes." Something just released in me that I was getting the message that everything was going to be okay. I kid you not. I left there and I messaged all of my girlfriends and was like, "You are not going to believe this." And they didn't believe it. They were like, "We don't, that's nonsense." If any of you have heard my whole story, you know how attached to Maya, the Maya energy that I am. So it was a huge sign, kind of gave me a little bit of relief. And then a couple of days later, no test results were back, by the way. I had a phone call from the hospital And this is when, if you were at Soul School last week, you would have heard me talk about the tests. So 2 days after I'd been for my blood tests, I'm with my partner, and he'd literally just got out the car and my phone rang. I answered the phone. It was the hospital. So I was like beeping at him to come back to the car. He got in the car and he listened to the conversation that I'm about to share with you. A consultant had spoken to the hospital. No results, by the way, guys, no results whatsoever. And the consultant had said, the only way I would be able to have a baby would be an egg donor. This was not the first time the medical industry had told me to give up on my dream. And it hadn't always come from medics telling me to give up on my dream. It had come from people who were supposed to love me. There were people that told me that, you know, if I hadn't done this and I hadn't done that, then maybe I would be okay. You know, like the horror that I could tell you about, you know, some people's projections. And I literally sat in that car with tears rolling down my eyes. I looked at my partner and I said to him, you watch me fucking prove her wrong. That was my response. Imagine if that had got in my head. Imagine if that had questioned my belief. Imagine if I was younger or more sensitive or whatever. Just anything. Just imagine that everything hadn't happened in my life and that I didn't believe it. And I literally was like, screw you. And he was like, oh my goodness gracious me, Lucy, you know, like, oh my goodness. And I was like, no. So apologies for the language, but that is what I said. And then what happened? A week later, 2 weeks later, all the blood test results came back saying, there's nothing wrong with you. You're good to go. You know, things like that. So I went on a bit of a mission at this point. I had a disruption in May that led to some serious soul searching. You know, I actually took a bit of time out away from my partner, things like that. And I really, really did have to go and dig deep. I really had to go and see, you know, what was it that I was looking for? What did I actually want? And I went off to Spain. I reflected on so much. And then in June, I got the biggest memo that I could ever be grateful for, which was it was time to make some serious decisions. I had to remove energies from my life that no longer aligned, energies that were actually suppressing me and my dream of becoming a mum. Now, I can say this legitimately because my best friend Katie is watching here, but Katie was walking by my side every step of the way of this. I spoke to her about everything. I spoke to her about the decisions that I knew I needed to make, although they were heartbreaking. And I am telling you now, ladies and gents, this is no word of a lie, absolutely no bullshit. Within 2 weeks of making that decision to cut people out of my life, the commitment to myself that I deserved the baby and I deserved everything that I had been being shown, and I deserved the fact that my guides had been guiding me and my, you know, source really did have my back. Within 2 weeks, I'd conceived naturally. The irony. The irony, as soon as you are brave enough to say, I deserve better, as soon as you say, I don't need to be gaslit anymore, I don't need to be abused anymore, you get gold taking place in your life. And I'm so proud because some people are messaging me saying, oh my God, I made this decision and shit, now my whole life is changing so much for the better. And this is the point. I have been saying for years now that there is going to be this new Egyptian energy that is going to be brought to the world between February and April 2026. I had no idea I was birthing it. You know, I said that earlier, but I feel so privileged to be the person that has been chosen to do this, even if it was not perfect at the time. And I want to be real with you, wasn't perfect at the time. This timing is absolute divinity. This was planned way before I even understood that there was a bigger plan, before I trusted in God, in source, in the universe, in whatever. Knowing that this beautiful baby has been inside of me since I was conceived myself, waiting patiently this whole time until I was perfect, that the time was perfect, that I allowed myself to surrender, to be held, to be loved truly in the way that I deserved to be loved, rather than the love that I was settling for. And that also I was ready to choose and surrender to becoming a mum, and what that would look like, what that would feel like, and what that would mean. So when I titled today's live, The Magic of Christmas, Growing a Miracle, it wasn't about being poetic. It was about truth. It was about a side of a story that so many of you have had no idea that I have been living behind closed doors. So many people message me on a day-to-day basis with things. None of them would ever have known that I was going through this behind closed doors. Likewise, so many people message me thinking that I've got a problem about something when I have got no capacity to be thinking about whatever that problem is that they think. I'm just getting on with my life. I'm like just holding my head up above water. This season, this energy, this time of year that represents hope, light, and new beginnings. That's exactly what this baby is going to represent for all of us. A new chapter, a new frequency, a new life, literally and spiritually. At Soul School, so many of you witnessed a miracle in motion. You felt it. You celebrated it. I will never forget that room when I announced and I shared my bump with you all. The eruption of love. It was like a volcano erupting and the lava just bubbling out with, just the highest order of intent and connection behind it. You held me in a way that I will never, ever forget. It was the first time I allowed myself to be seen in the fullness of this moment. Not as Lucy the mentor, not as Lucy the coach or the teacher, or the wanderess or the adventurer, but as a woman who finally let herself live the miracles that some people had tried their damn hardest to block, convinced me that I was expecting too much and that I should just let go. I have to say to you guys, the irony of this journey. I think it was in June or July when I made the decision that I'm cutting these people from my life and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I actually booked an appointment with an IVF clinic to go and get my eggs scanned. Because I was like, look, this woman, this consultant said something about my eggs for a reason. Although I've got all the results back to say everything's okay, I decided to do that. 4 days before that appointment, I found out I was 5 weeks pregnant. This is the irony of how life works. When you are certain and nothing is going to stop you, you make decisions and you do things. And I was willing to go and spend the money and have these tests done, even though I'd had them done a couple of years earlier, after the miscarriage in Spain. I'd had them checked. I just wanted to know. I was just like, right, I'm going to go and do this. But Source had already You know, I will share the when, the why, the how, and all the rest of it at some point. Not how, clearly I think you guys know how, but I will share more details. But today, just to remind you how to manifest and how to create and how to intend miracles, I just wanted to bring this amount of information to you. My intention is not just to announce the pregnancy. It's to remind you of something super, super powerful. Veronica, I'm not telling you how, because you guys are just going to be like, what the... I probably will through conscious conversations at some point, but I mean, it's just divinity. Honestly, when I share, it is absolute divinity. Like, you will just be blown away by the... I mean, it's literally biblical the way that this unfolded. So, you know, but I will share that at another time. I just want you to be in remembrance of this information. Miracles don't happen when you control your life. Miracles happen when you soften enough to let them in. I feel so privileged that after years of being tough and feel like I had it all under control, that I allowed someone to take me by the hand and show me that I'm safe to be in the energy of the mother. It's been a very long journey. There's been lots of frogs. Whether you are calling in love, health, abundance, healing, or whatever your own miracle is, I hope that this story today has reminded you that your timeline is not a punishment. Your journey is not a mistake. Thank you so much for listening. Your miracle, whatever form it takes, will come to you in the exact moment. Live your life, enjoy yourself, be around good people. Know what it is that you choose. Be certain of it. Thank you for celebrating with me. Thank you for witnessing the most beautiful part, the most beautiful chapter of my life to date. Thank you for celebrating and embracing the beautiful bump. I love you all so much. And I cannot wait to share the rest of the journey with you. I know you've missed out on 25 weeks, but we still have 15 to go. Maybe I'll start running a book on dates. We knew there had to be a 2-2 in there anyway, didn't we? Ladies and gents, I would really appreciate it if all of you could smash the love heart or the thumbs up button for me if you're on YouTube. Please, please, please do comment, do share this with your favorite people. Miracles are available for absolutely every one of us. I love you guys too. I am so, so, so grateful for all of you. I appreciate you all so much. I don't know why somebody's put an angry face. That's a little bit cheeky, isn't it? Probably get the video banned on Facebook now, but whatever, whatever makes you angry. I hope you find the solution for that. Please, please, please do share this with anybody who you feel might benefit from knowing what it is to be able to create a miracle. We've got to be able to feel it. We've got to be able to actually know what it is that we're looking for, and be able to surrender everything that is stopping us creating it. Because sometimes it shows up as a person, sometimes it shows up as a thing, sometimes it shows up as part of your health, or even a food that you're eating. So ladies and gents, I am so excited to be here with you guys on this next mission of love. I think you are yet to see the absolute best version of me. Ladies and gents, I will be back with you guys next week on Monday. I am going to put another video out in the week, by the way. I just would love for you guys to embrace this miracle and just know that you are deserving of your own miracle. As Veronica has just said, if you would like to join us for the Procrastination Healing Hangs, please do head over to the description field. And ladies and gents, I'll be back with you next week. Lots of love, guys. You take care now. Bye-bye.